Welcome back to Space Between Ideas. I'm Blaine Gates. So, yesterday we began a new checklist. Remember that we have already learned the endeavor elements, we have learned state progress, and we have learned state synergies. And yesterday, we began state inventiveness. Now, today, it's important I'm going to start to do a little bit of a review about what we learned yesterday. And also, you're going to see how all of these things connect. All right, so let's talk first about state synergies. So, state, if you're new to the channel, it means talk about, discuss. Let's talk about synergies. And if you remember, synergies, we discussed competitors. No, we didn't really discuss competitors. Well, we discussed peers. And within the peers, so these are your colleagues, the people that you work with, and they can also include competitors. So peers, there's this term called frenemies. So they're friends and they're also enemies. Uh, Competitors, you can learn a lot from your competitors. And I got a message from my dad the other day, and he said, helping your competitors, it's truly a Christian principle. And I was like, did I say I'm going to help my competitors? I wasn't sure. But yeah, so maybe the idea of frenemies, of an enemy could become a friend if you help them. It's possible that some companies that used to be your competitors, they've their company's been disrupted because of this pandemic. Maybe now is the time to go and communicate with those people and see how you can help them, because it's possible that now is the time where we need to help each other. Now, all right, so we have competitors, we have peers, we have the colleagues. Now, within synergies, we also have customers, and we also have providers. So when we talk about synergies, we're usually talking about how to work with different groups of people. And what's important with synergies is to be able to use these relationships over and over again. So the idea is reuse synergies. But then yesterday, we learned this idea about reuses. All right. So in addition to being able to reuse relationships, we should also figure out how to reuse the success that other people are experiencing, namely your competitors. All right. So, and then that's talking about the idea to imitate. All right. So, and then we went through the state progress checklist. So, how do we imitate? Specifically now, how do we imitate our competitors? So a second ago, I was talking about helping our competitors. Now I'm talking about copying our competitors. So the resources that they have, we also need to have those resources. The motivation that they have, we also need to have that motivation. The interactions, the way that they support each other within their organization, and the way they work with people outside of their organization, we need to understand those systems, and we need to implement the best practices. All right, so that's talking about the potential. We need to have all of that stuff, the potential, and then we use that potential to create a plan. All right, so the knowledge, the assumptions that our competitors have, we need to understand those things. The scenarios that our competitors have built, we need to build similar scenarios. And then the plans that our competitors have chosen, we also need to understand why they chose those plans. And if we're not doing as well as them, maybe there's something they're doing that we're not. And the outcomes that they are working towards, we need to be able to also go toward those outcomes. And the reuses, all right? So when we talk about reuses in terms of synergies, then we're talking about what are the relationships that they have and what are the relationships that we have? Can we reuse those successful relationships? So we talked about synergies, and we also talked about reuses in the idea of imitating. Now, today we're going to move down to the next theme of this checklist called state inventiveness. Now, remember, state inventiveness, the whole idea of this checklist is to understand the needs that an organization has to innovate? Does your organization have a need to innovate? And I think that with this new pandemic situation where everybody is changing and everyone is frantically trying to figure out what is going on, obviously there is a strong need to innovate. So, what about your proclivities to innovate? What about your ability to innovate? What about your energy level to innovate? What about your understanding of the process of innovation? What about are you sitting in a corner at home, you're by yourself, you're not sure what to do, or are you extremely motivated during this period of time and you're calling your friends and you're connecting with people and you're figuring out how to get through this problem? All right, so there's a need for innovation, and then you need to be able to fill those needs of innovation. Yesterday, we talked about one way to fulfill that need is to imitate. Today, we're going to talk about the second idea. Now, it may sound confusing, but the theme for today is synergies. So it's like, what? Doesn't synergies mean working with our customers and our peers and our providers, and then there's like a change over time? Okay, yes. But if you think of this idea, synergies, it can also be how your product is like integrating into your customers' systems. How does your product integrate? All right, so and how do your salespeople facilitate this integration? So let's talk first. We'll talk about peers first. All right, so do your salespeople really understand how your stuff works? If you are working in sales, if you have a product, let's say that you're doing research. This is a type of product. Now, how does your research integrate into other people's systems? Let's say you are promoting a motivational speaker. All right, so how does that motivation, how does that person, that figure, integrate into other companies' systems? Let's say that you are doing some type of consulting. How do other people's products integrate into your systems to provide consulting services? Let's say that you have a physical product. How does that physical product integrate into other people's products? So as a salesperson, do you really understand how the thing that you have, your product or service of your company, how that integrates into other people's systems, into your customers' systems? So if you are managing salespeople, it's important to provide sales development, sales training. Not the idea of selling things, but of understanding the product or service. So you take that salesperson out of the field and you put them on the factory floor and say, all right, look, this is our product. We need to make sure that you have an appropriate level of product knowledge, because until you understand really what our product is and why it's the best and what it does, you won't be able to really understand how to help people understand how to integrate our product into their systems. So the first point is we need to help our salespeople to understand how our products work. The second one is a synergy, which is how do we integrate our products into our customers' products? Now, we might be providing like one level of service to our customers. And is it possible for us to have a deeper integration into our customers' products or services? Is it possible to go deeper? Is it possible to provide more service? Is it possible for our product to be better utilized? All right, so now our salesperson, we take him out of the factory and we throw him into these companies. He's going to sell our product. He's telling people how things work. But the salesperson also needs to understand how the products and services of our customers work, because he needs to understand that integration process of our product into their product. All right? So think about your product or service if you're a salesperson, and begin to draw out a target market. Who are the people that you want to target? Who are the customers that you want to target? And now you need to enter into their organizations and start to look at their products and services and see how exactly does your product fit and integrate into their system. Now you can go like even one step farther. So as you start to understand your customers and really understand their products and services, can you then go with integrate with them hand in hand and then start to help your customers integrate with their customers? There could be a possibility that your service can help your customer, and it can also help your customer to extend their ability to be able to integrate with other companies. So you're going into the customer, and then with him you're going into their customer. All right. Maybe this is one of those double bounces. So how well do you understand the customers of your customers? All right, the last one. Now, so this is the 007. So your salespeople, you put them on the factory floor. They understand how everything works. You put them into the potential customers or current customers' factory floor, and they understand how their customers' systems work, and they understand how they integrate. And then your salespeople go with your customers to their customers, and they understand how to integrate your system into your customers, integrate your system with your customer's product, integrate into their customers. A lot of integration, a lot of synergy. And then, hopefully, at this point, your salespeople have insight. They can see, they understand how it all works, and they bring back the intel into your business. And you say, and you go back to that factory floor and you say, hey guys, this is what I found out. This is how we are currently integrating with our customer. This is how our competitors are integrating with our potential customer. If we make these changes, if we do these things, then we can actually compete better with our customers. So before, we were just copying, we were just imitating our competitors. But now I understand how our competitor works, and I can see that we can integrate into their customers. We can compete with them. My dad's probably going to be mad at me now that I'm sharing how to disrupt the sales of competitors. How we can get past not only imitating, but figuring out exactly how they integrate and providing even better opportunities for our products to integrate with our competitors' customers. Bringing back that knowledge into our company. All right, so today we talked about reuses, imitate. We went through the state progress checklist, 9 steps. We also discussed synergies, and we compared the ideas of imitating with the ideas of integrating. So I hope that you were able to get some insight from today. I hope that as you were listening, you were able to write down some plans. And I hope that tomorrow morning, Monday morning, that you're able to call your salespeople, or if you're a salesperson, start to list the things that you need to do to go forward and get past imitating and start integrating. You've reached, sounds like a phone. You've reached space between ideas. Leave a message after the tone.